month of September is all about expectancy and expectancy in the meditation, so you have an visceral experience of it. And I want to now begin by showing you something that I think is one of our very good example of expectancy. You may have seen it before, and it's a video that's being seen by millions of people, so if you haven't seen it, you're one of the only ones that hasn't. But when I said thinking about expectancy, all right, let's see that thing.
So, I went to the fridge and I opened it to meat. You know what the meat is, right? What's in my yeah, bacon, that's maple. Maple flavor. Yeah. Some kind of yeah. You know what I'm talking about. Why? So I ate it. Oh, no. You can't me. Bacon. You know, I have to notice there was some beef in there. Steak. Okay, we're back to the French. Just a few minutes ago. I put something together really special here on this one. I took some chocolate. I put some cheese on it.
Every dog I know knows how to practice expectancy. Saw that tail wagging even in the shadow. Something good's coming, I know it. And it is one of the really important principles that for us to use as we are moving toward our good, whatever that good is, to have a joyous expectancy of it. You know, there's a law of expectancy. It was written in 1962, and it's a business law. And so, I'm pretty sure it was borrowed from the science of mind. Pretty sure it was, because it's what we teach. There are three parts to it, and then one part, valence, which is about the value of something. And then instrumentality, which is the belief that the actions we take will lead us to that path. And then thirdly, expectancy, which is the belief that I'm able to complete these actions. And so that law of expectancy is working all the time. Whatever it is that we conceive and believe, not only can we achieve, we do achieve. For we're living, moving, having our being in this wonderful God stuff that's always saying yes to us, that's always saying, absolutely. This is what you believe, this is your experience. So, the whole month of September, I want us to acknowledge that, starting October 1st, we're going to be in our new home. And there are mixed emotions with any kind of change. There are mixed emotions. There's always a sense of loss, as well as a sense of joyous expectancy. And one of the things about being ready to receive our good, so preparing for our good is my talk this way, preparing for our good. And one of the things, of course, we have to know what we have to know what exactly we're moving into, what the bookstore is going to look like, or how the sanctuary is going to be arranged. Like there's all sorts of things there. But preparing for our good starts even before that. Preparing for our good starts with acknowledging where we are right now. And it starts by saying, just a minute here, I can't receive any more if I'm filled up. So think about the good you want. The good you want. When you're totally hanging on to the good you have, think of yourself if you've got a $20 bill in your hand and you're really hanging on to it. what I realized for us is that there's so many mixed emotions because just like I can look around this sanctuary and see many people who are currently grieving the loss of a person. And I know that we are also grieving loss of other kinds of losses. And in a way, this change, even though we really want it, and it's for our highest good, we are going to be experiencing the same things as we would when we lose anything. There are people that have been part of this church at this center for the entire 33 years it's been here. Is anyone in the room fit that category? 33 years. So, Michael and Joan, how long have you been here? 25 years. Anyone longer than that? Okay. How long? 30. So, 33, 30, 25. I've been here 13 years. So just settle how long you've been here. Okay. So you see we all have different numbers, but they're all experiences. So we've been here, and some people are here for the very first time today, and so they'll have a different experience than what you're having. Because when I talk about moving to our greater good, there's a natural tendency to think about the good that we received here and not want to let it go. Not want to let it go. And just like in grief, there are all the stages, and they're not necessarily in any specific order, but the stages of grief include denial, it's not happening, include sadness, include anger, include bargaining. If I do this, could I have that? Could I have it now? If I just do this, if I pray a little more, if I pray in a certain way, I'm a better person. So, what I want you to understand is that whatever you're feeling is okay, is what you're feeling. To acknowledge it and say, yeah, this is where I am right now. This is the feeling I have right now. And I acknowledge it so that I can let it go. You can't let it go if you're just resisting it. So that's it. So that you can let it go. The Zen story is often told that the Zen teacher, the Zen master, whose student comes to him for teaching, and the teacher asks him if he would like a cup of tea first, and when he pours the tea, instead of pouring a cup, he just keeps pouring, and it overflows the cup, and overflows the saucer, and the student says, Master, thinking that Master somehow lost consciousness. He said, don't you see that my cup is full? And he said, my son, do you see your cup is full? And while our cup is full, we cannot receive the greater good. So it's about learning how to empty that cup with gratitude and love and receive the new good. That's going to be different things for all of us. You know, I know here we're talking about our good, and one of the great things we're going to do, the very first service, so put it in your mental banks right now, we're going to one service starting the first Sunday in October. And we're doing that because you know that many of you who've been here for 30 years, or even those of us who've been here 13 or 5 or 10, you know that there are people that you see in the bed and you think, I wonder how long they've been coming. Because we don't know, because we don't know each other. It's like we have two churches in many ways. So it's going to be very exciting to me that we're going to get to really bond as a community, as being this one community. And so we're going to be meeting at 10:30. We're going to have our meditation at 10 o'clock. And the wonderful prelude is going to start at 10:20. The band will start playing that for 10 minutes. And I just want to tell you, because I know you're a group of people that likes to come later on to get the real good stuff. You met two of the best songs the band played. They played My Heart Will Go On, and they also played It's My Life, Billy Joel, and they played it like incredible. So you're missing good things, so you're not here for the whole service. I'm just saying. So in order for us to manifest this greater good. We first of all need to know what it is exactly that we want. Not what someone else wants for us, but what we want. We need to see it. We need to recognize that having good is natural and good. And Ernest Hopkins, the teacher of teachers, one of Ernest Holmes' teachers, said, "There's good for me and I want to have it." Let's say that together. There's good for me and I want to have it. You want to. It's your spiritual right to have it. You don't rob anyone from their good by having your good. There's good for you and you ought to have it. That you empty out the old so you'll have the new. And you know what? This is a milestone. It's big to be in one place, renting one place for 33 years and moving. And it's a very big move. It's a milestone. I told Mia's birthday, Mia celebrated a birthday yesterday, and it's a milestone birthday. 35. So it could be a different number, but anyway, celebrate your milestones. It's important. So we're taking this whole month to acknowledge all of the good we've received in this 33 years here, and so that we can get ready to move as a community there. So remember that it is your shared good, and that everyone is having their own experience. So this move is our shared good, and each one of us has a different story about it. Your good is actually shared good also. When you have a demonstration of your own or answer to your own prayer, it's shared because it came about by that same mind that creates everything. And so we share it, we give thanks for it. Sometimes that law of expectancy is working so well, we don't, it might not even be logical. I'll tell you about that right now. There's a story that I found. A spinster lady, a very old spinster lady, was, for you young people, I mean, she's never been married. I thought, I wonder if they know the spinsters. Anyway, this very old spinster lady was very religious, and her church pastor was visiting her, and he walked in, and she, this beautiful old Victorian home, complete with the doilies and the organ, and he noticed that on the organ there was this beautiful crystal bowl with water, and floating on top was a condom. And he tried not to look at it because he thought, this doesn't fit my understanding of this woman. And so he brought in cookies and tea, they were having cookies, and his curiosity finally got the better of him. He said, I just have to ask you, Miss Beatrice, what's that all about? She said, isn't it marvelous? I was walking downtown and I found a package, and it said, put this on your organ, keep it running. I never forget the things. It's just what it's like. They have like a code or a flip or you're renting. So it's done unto you as you believe. As you believe. She believed that was some magical thing, and indeed it was. Thomas Carter said was, creative power is that receptive attitude of expectancy, which makes a mold into which the plastic and as yet undifferentiated substance can flow and take the desired form. So the creative power is what we are working with. And so it is a receptive attitude of expectancy. That's what's making the mold for our good. That's what's making the mold for our good. Cheese has a beautiful poem that says this. Stop being so religious. What do sad people have in common? It seems they have built a shrine to the past, and often go there and do a strange wail and worship. What is the beginning of happiness? It is to stop being so religious like that. So we are where we are, but we don't make a shrine there and set up our tents. you see what expectancy is. I'm going to close by showing you a very short video of the ultimate count tease, which is what expectancy is not. Prepare for your good now. Let it be your experience so we move forward together. Thank you. Let the band come back and Ellendale once more to the platform.